hello. Does it work? Can you hear it?
It doesn't sound echoey enough to be working quite yet.
That's what I think too. I can speak loudly. I can project.
Well, the folks on Zoom have got to hear you though.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm too dumb to know how to turn it on. Yeah, I see it. Now it works?
Yes, but we'll make sure we get your time set back so we can get some.
You want to talk to him? You can't hear you. Talk.
Talking to it? Can you hear it?
I stand by.
Stand by me? Okay. My name is Lori Bach. I am from District 2. I live in Edgewood, Washington, and I am here to speak to P9, even if I don't know where that's at in its process, but you have a couple of different proposals that are in regards to the sheriff, and that is how I first came to be coming to this group and seeing the meetings. I really want to make sure I thank you all for the work that you're doing. I could not believe when I first started coming here that this is a volunteer position. Blows my mind. So thank you all for your work, for what you're doing, and for teaching all of us stuff I didn't know before. So I have been attending these meetings because I cannot believe that there's a county employee who refuses to do his job and does that publicly. Not only does he publicly refuse to do the job, but he's a sheriff and says he won't uphold the law, and I find that shocking. This is absolutely appalling to me. It sets a terrible precedence, and everyone has to follow the law. That's how it goes in this country. So I wanted to thank all of you. There's different propositions before you that have to do with ways to try to address this issue. I appreciate the efforts that you're doing. I appreciate your attention to this issue. I see that there is a new proposition, that's Proposition 9, where there has to be an attorney for the sheriff. And my suggestion is that if he didn't break the law, maybe he wouldn't need an attorney. I don't know. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Just leave it on.
Oh,
Carla Scott.
I did not leave it on. Sorry. We got a mute. I only see a mute button.
When y'all done with Mike, just set it on the thing, we'll be good.
If you can't do it, I can't either.
All right, stand by.
Carla Scott, District 5. Today I would like to spend my 2 minutes discussing the value of proposed amendment C26, Community Stewardship and Litter Abatement. First off, I want to sincerely thank Council Member Jen Strickling for her excellent work putting this proposal together. I can tell that she understood the intention behind the amendment. Environmental stewardship is both a responsibility and a long-term investment. I submitted a written public comment detailing my experience with WSDOT and information about Pierce County and City of Tacoma programs. Please read my comments. In researching what the City of Tacoma has, I was impressed to see that they offer a program more in line with what C26 is suggesting. Theirs is called a Neighborhood Litter Patrol Program. All three programs say such things as, by getting involved, you help foster community pride, create a healthier environment, and make Tacoma a better, more inviting place for everyone. Or together we can build civic pride in attaining the goal of a litter-free Pierce County. And from WSDOT, promotes pride and local ownership in Washington. Become a volunteer and you and your group will be doing something great for your community. My experience has dimmed my hope of making a difference through these programs. The red tape would discourage most people from getting involved. I'm not suggesting a protest or a rally because we all see what is left behind after a protest: trash. An engaged public is an unstoppable force, people power. While it will take all of us, it will help all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Carol Sue Brayton.
Carol Sue Brayton. Since I made P9, I'll explain it more in detail. It's not just the sheriff. It is literally the office, the department of the sheriff, the undersheriff, and those superiors that are working within the department that have to use our county charter, our state constitution, and the federal constitution and laws. What supersedes what doesn't? And that is why, and there can be conflict between offices. So if one has to represent a conflict of office of duty, so that is in the law, and that's why I proposed it. Also, I proposed to create the watershed protection. Water aquifer recharge areas are being filled in all over this county, pushed off-site onto other people's property, but it's also losing our water quality. The stewardship is the fact that everybody needs to be notified when they're in a dangerous hazard area like geological hazards and others. When we look at people in our jails for domestic violence and other things, we need to have a posting for everyone who's been victims of crime when people are being released. I have sexual predators in my area. One was actually in the park at the same time I was. So there's a reason when people need to know when these people, and not just released, but people who are victims. So I'm asking that that be put up. And again, there's the citizenship for services. Be born in the U.S., be a naturalized citizen, be a green card holder, be a refugee. We don't need somebody coming from California or someplace else, or somebody who's come across illegally. We have lots of homeless that need help, that desperately need help in our area. And so the services need to serve the Pierce County people. And they should be a priority, our seniors, our others. And so this should be a priority. The detention center should not be able to receive sex offenders that are coming in and they've gotten loose out of that area.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you.
Barb Brzezinski? I'm sure. Okay. Vicki Stanich?
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Vicki Stanich, District 6. Thank you for coming to District 6. I'm strongly in support of the following proposed amendments. C23 on the initiative. This proposal changes the signature threshold for initiatives from 10% of votes in the most recent county executive election to 10% of the average voter turnout over the last 4 elections. Such a modification would reduce the required signatures, enabling more citizen-driven measures to reach the ballot. P7 on campaign finance. This measure is designed to limit the powerful impact of financial contributions on political races, which can ultimately lead to the erosion of our democratic processes. P14, recognizing protection and stewardship of natural resources, acknowledging the importance of safeguarding and managing natural resources. P15, create an Office of Watershed Protection. And P5, council district boundaries. P6, instant runoff voting as an electoral process improvement over the top 2 candidates that we have a choice for right now. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. And clerk, can you please note that Commissioner Layton has arrived? Thank you. Jeff Winter?
Jeff Winter, District 5. Madam Chair, members of the commission. I've mentioned before that I first started attending these meetings on February 9th. And because I was not here at the start, some of what I've been witnessing wasn't making much sense, which is why I asked those 3 questions at last week's meeting. In an effort to be better informed, I spent much of this week listening to the recordings of the previous meetings, which started on January 14th. When I learned...
Mr. Winter, which proposals are you addressing?
Oh, I'm sorry. Appointed sheriff and conflict of interest. What I learned from the January 21st meeting brought a little clarity to my second question, which had to do with conflict of interest. In that meeting, when legal was covering ethics, at this point I'd like to acknowledge Commissioner Rydell Kelly. He brought to the attention of legal his situation to give it insight into It appeared that he was concerned about that maybe there was a conflict between him and what he does. And legal seemed to address that without
So, Mr.
a concern.
Winter,
Yes,
how is this connected to a proposal?
the conflict of interest in the question that I brought up last week. And then at the third meeting, January 28th, Commissioner O'Leary wisely commented, and I think it's really important that the legal review be he commented, I think it's really important that legal review be specific as specified as a recommendation, and that we get on the record that legal review is just the process because we are the body. I mention this because it helps to give insight into my third question, where I asked why C1 was still moving forward in this commission. At the end of the second meeting on January 21st, when legal counsel was covering the constitutional limitations on Charter County, she never brought up the separation between the people's rights and actions of the legislature. Now, it is clear to me that legal counsel plays a big part in this commission, and you all seem to trust in their advice because law is their profession. But if I may ask a couple of questions for you to ponder in moving forward, after all, you took the oath, they did not. Did you choose this
Mr.
legal
Winter,
counsel?
we're at time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Sean Lyles?
Was that 2 minutes plus a couple minutes? Seconds?
My name is Sean Lyles. I live in District 4. I'm here primarily to talk about the anti-gerrymandering bill that I put forward. Primarily, the basic reason why I put this bill forward is that gerrymandering is a practice that we are seeing widespread use being used by politicians to undermine the voice of the people actually being represented. I believe that every person, even voices that I do not agree with, has the right for their voice to be worth just as much as my voice, and for my voice to be worth just as much as their voice. The practice of gerrymandering is a underhanded, dirty tactic used by politicians, and for a government that should be serving the people, should be by the people, and does not fairly actually represent us. Main reason why I put this bill forward is because I have seen other bills, like the expansion of county council bill, that may kind of create the need to cause redistricting of our county council. And I wish to make sure that if and when our counties are redistricted, that we actually do it fairly for everyone involved. That's all.
Thank you. Zach Kinterman? I'm very sorry if I completely botched.
Yeah, it's Kinnaman.
Thank you. I'm so sorry.
No problem. My name is Zachary Kinnaman, and I'm here speaking about the Office of a Sheriff's Ombuds. I know it was discussed last week. I was watching it and could not participate, unfortunately, because of computer issues. But it also addresses the ongoing discussion represented in P9 about the sheriff. And I just wanted to remind everybody that Pierce County has a long and colorful history of sheriffs. And quite frankly, I've been here 53 years. I moved from the city of New York to come out here to go to school at Puget Sound. And it always seems to me that the sheriff is a constant source of interesting headlines in the newspapers. And I am very much in favor of an ombuds office. My comments tonight would be, please do it carefully, slowly, and deliberately. Commissioner Ginn has done a really good job of laying out the fundamentals. I worked for the Office of the Corrections Ombuds at the state. I'm here not as a representative, but only an interested Pierce County resident. District 6, by the way. But I would really like to draw people's attention to the fact that we also have a jail that has been producing very large plaintiff awards on a consistent basis for people who are neglected in medical care, mistreated, and otherwise abused. And nothing seems to ever happen except we get to write checks. Now, we're not writing the big check on the big one with the left leg being lost. That's going to be an insurance company someplace back east. And we did give the guy $1 million to go away. That's not good government. We need good government. We need oversight. Let's do it right. Let's do it carefully. And let's, above all, take the time to set the office up correctly. And I don't mean then come in here, thank you.
Thank you. John Leslie?
Hey, John Leslie, District 5. I'm feeling like I'm beating a dead horse here, but it needs to be said. I thank the chair and the vice chair for speaking to me before the meeting. I think they understand my issues. These have all been distributed to everybody there and to everybody in the public too. And I hope you'll take me up on my challenge and take a look at this. We have
Is there a specific proposal that you're addressing?
all of them. We don't know what the proposals are, and that's the point. They're not published. There are 55 proposals right now. And
Yes,
the people,
so a specific proposal, though, is what we've asked folks to share with us tonight.
all of them. Are you going to silence me?
No, I'm just reiterating what we asked of folks.
I'm addressing all of them. I'm addressing the process. Is that not allowed?
You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. If anyone has one of these, it should say everything. I'll run out of time now that I've been interrupted and been cut short, and already cut short with the 2-minute time limit. But I would challenge all of you to take a look and see if you can find any of these amendments anywhere. The public should be aware of these. They should be able to look at them and find them. You can't find them. They're buried in all the packets. That's where we started at. There are 14 packets now. Some of them are over 100 pages. And for anybody in the public to have to go sorting through all these packets to try and find them, there's 33 of them that are buried in those packets. There are only 22 of them on the website right now. There are 21 people on this commission, plus county staff. And I'm just a dumb bricklayer, but I came up with a solution. It's on the back side of this thing. There's no reason why all 21 of you and the county staff can't come up with something reasonable like that too. Please don't dismiss this. It's making this an illegitimate exercise by not allowing the public to know what's going on down here. Thank you.
Thank you. Ian Armstrong?
All right, Ian Armstrong, 7. C26 and C27, they're policy. I'm pretty sure that that's inappropriate for the charter. It just doesn't make any sense to me. You're supposed to be at a 30,000-foot view, not down in the weeds. C30 creates a group of people that sit around and bitch and complain about the sheriff and his office, but has no teeth, has no function other than for people to just sit around and complain. And that seems silly to me. I don't understand why we want to create a group of people, pay them a bunch of money, and just listen to them complain about somebody. It doesn't make any sense to me. Let's go ahead and say no to that one. And then I know that you're not going to like this, but I don't really care. It is disgusting that half of you guys seem to think that you have more important things to do here. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how late we go. I get in these in-district meetings, it's different. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about everything else. It seems like we want to cut everything short. It seems like we want to, complain that that people have other things to do. I get that. I have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'll stay till midnight. I don't care. This is something that comes around every 10 years. It's super important that we focus on it when it's time to focus on it. So when you run for this office, and this is for people in the future as well, when you run for this review charter review commission, it's super important that you understand that it's going to take some time and you're going to work some late nights. Thank you.
Emily Anderson?
My name is Emily Anderson. I'm in the first district. I live near Orning. I was not planning on coming here and seeing this tonight, and that's kind of the similar lines I wanted to discuss. I wrote some things out. So I attended the first few Charter Commission meetings, and I had personal things take place last month or so, and I'm trying to get caught up on where we're at. I'm very concerned about the lack of transparency. The average person is going to go to the commission's website and not be able to see the list of proposed amendments if they have an Android phone like myself. From my laptop, I was able to view the
Excuse me, can
yes.
you tell us which proposal you're speaking to tonight?
Well, I just said I can't see them from my Android phone. So there's that. From a laptop, which many of us don't have, you can see the amendments in the folders, but a lot of the amendments, such as these, are not there. And I had to take the time to go through and look at the agendas and see through the agenda what item was discussed, and then go through the couple 100-page packet to find out what the heck is going on. This is not transparent whatsoever. We're halfway through these meetings, and this is not inclusive to the general public, and including us in this process that's going to affect the way our government and our lives function for the next 10 years. And something needs to change significantly so people can feel welcome and not feel like an idiot asking questions that should not be difficult questions, like where are the proposed amendments on the website. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Jensen Brashears, I'm really sorry. Completely. Janine. Thank you, sorry.
Good evening. My name is Janine Brashears. I live in South Hill, District 1. I'm here because my family and I support an elected sheriff. So that's the proposal that I'm speaking to, elected versus appointed sheriff. And we also support our friend, Keith Swank. We know that if a truth needs to be told, he will tell it. And contrary to popular belief, that's a valuable thing. I'd like to talk about hypocrisy and double standards. Hypocrisy is defined as the practice of claiming to have moral standards or beliefs to which one's own behavior does not conform. A double standard is a set of principles that applies differently and usually more rigorously to one group of people or circumstances than another. I think we can all agree that we don't like these things. 1 Peter 2:1 says, "Therefore, rid yourselves of all malice and all deceit, hypocrisy, envy, and slander of every kind." This amendment to the charter follows the Washington State Senate Bill 5974. Over 12,000 citizens signed in to the committee hearing to oppose that bill. Less than 2,000 signed in to support it. One of those testifying in opposition was Thurston County Sheriff Derek Sanders. He called for a veto on the bill and said it's one of the most unpopular, hypocrisy-ridden bills ever passed. Sheriff Sanders goes on to list the actions by elected officials that would result in removal for the sheriff. We simply ask, why the double standard? I recently learned that 8 of the 21 charter commissioners belong to a group called Indivisible Tacoma, a conflict of interest. And in the April 6th charter meeting, Mr. Leslie pointed out the potential conflict of interest of multiple commissioners who do serve on boards and commissions that receive money directly from the county.
Thank you.
My time is up?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you. Lori Lee?
Just a suggestion for the other lady, if you have an issue accessing their website, you can use a public library, like the rest of us. Swank wouldn't need this is P9, Swank wouldn't need a constitutional lawyer if he read the Constitution and followed it.
Can you share with us?
P9, I said.
Oh, and your name and where you're from?
Lori Lee. Yep, District 6. he wouldn't need a constitutional lawyer if he would, follow the Constitution and listen to the prosecuting attorney's advice and stop costing us tax dollars. Thank you.
Thank you. So that is the end of public comment in the room tonight, at least as far as sign-in sheets go. Was there anyone else that didn't get a chance to sign up? Seeing none, we will move to our virtual folks.
Yes, Madam Chair. For any members of the public who wish to provide comment, press the raise hand icon on Zoom or star 9 on your telephone keypad. Madam Chair, looks like at this time we have 2 hands. First hand is going to be Gloria Garcia. Please state your name and as well as district for the record. You'll have 2 minutes.
Hi, Gloria Garcia, District 4. I wanted to speak about the issue of the sheriff being appointed versus elected. Currently, he's breaking laws that prohibit discrimination against transgender people and also legal immigrants, green card holders that are authorized to work. He is going against the law by saying that on the basis of that they have a green card and not citizenship, that he's not going to hire them. Well, that's illegal, and it's going to cost us a lot of money in lawsuits. Unlimited compensatory damages and up to $300,000 of pecuniary damages through the EEOC per person, per incident. He's currently over 25% of Pierce County employees, which means that we're going to be paying through the nose, and the lawsuits are already starting to come. As far as the issue was raised about how to make it easier, I agree it can be more forthcoming as far as like what these initiatives, what these things have, like Sharia law. I have to guess, okay, someone wants to pass something against Sharia law, but that's duplicitous because it's already against the Constitution to do that. As far as the sheriff hiring a constitutional law attorney, no, we're not going to hire an attorney because he did something wrong. He broke the law, which he is doing. As far as P10, P11, those things are already illegal in Washington State. Just take them off your agenda because P8, P9, P10, P11 are all a waste of time when time can be better spent on making these things more accessible to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
And next we have Rachel Kurtz McLean. Please state it for the record. You will have 2 minutes. And district.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can.
Okay. Hi, good evening, commissioners. Thank you for the opportunity to comment. My name is Rachel Kurtz McLean. I live in District 6 on Anderson Island, and I'm a co-founder of the nonprofit Standing for Washington. I'm here to ask you to put durable watershed stewardship into the Pierce County Charter. I submitted 2 related proposals, a preamble amendment and an Office of Watershed Stewardship. I want to speak to 3 points: why the office is needed, why it belongs in the charter, and why the preamble should be easy. First, the office is needed because watershed health is broader than water quality alone. A healthy watershed depends on habitat, stream flows, floodplains, wetlands, riparian areas, stormwater, land use, groundwater, salmon recovery, and cumulative effects over time. Pierce County includes the Puyallup, Nisqually, Chambers, Clover Creek, and Key Peninsula Gig Harbor Islands watersheds. A lot of information about them exists, but it is scattered across departments, cities, tribes, watershed groups, and state and federal programs. No one in Pierce County government is responsible for telling the public year over year whether our watersheds as a whole systems are getting healthier, holding steady, or declining. That is the gap. Filling it is not about stopping development. Builders, property owners, and taxpayers benefit when the county can tell which programs are working, which are not, and where infrastructure investments will hold up over time. Second, this belongs in the charter because the charter defines the county's basic structure and long-term commitments. An ordinance can be weakened, defunded, or eliminated by a future council. The charter is where you put functions important enough to endure. Third, the preamble should be easy. A preamble does not regulate anyone, create a permit requirement, or decide a land use application. It simply says what Pierce County stands for: clean water, healthy watersheds, salmon, farmland, flood resilience, and responsibility to future
Thank you.
generations are not partisan values.
Thank you so much.
And at this time, Madam Chair, there are no other hands.